My name is Sarah Mitchell, and for 15 years I gave everything, my time, my energy, and in many ways, my identity, to Harrison Enterprises. I didn't just work there, I lived and breathed that company. I had started as a junior software developer fresh out of college, an eager young woman from a small town in Ohio. Back then, I was quiet, uncertain of my place in the corporate world, and constantly battling the nagging thought that maybe I didn't belong. Most people saw me as just another new hire destined to burn out, but Mr. Harrison, the founder, saw something else. During my very first performance review, he leaned back in his chair, his sharp eyes softening for a moment. "You remind me of myself when I was younger," he said, "always thinking 3 steps ahead, always seeing possibilities others miss." I carried those words with me like a shield. They became the anchor I clung to through late nights spent debugging stubborn code, through endless meetings where I had to prove myself twice over, through client presentations where entire contracts seemed to hang on my performance. Slowly, steadily, I climbed the ladder, from developer, to team lead, to project manager, and finally, to Chief Technology Officer. None of it was handed to me. Every step was earned with sweat, creativity, and an unshakable determination to make Harrison Enterprises a leader in technology. Under my direction, the software division, once the company's weakest branch, grew into its most profitable. I was the one who convinced the board to shift toward cloud computing before our competitors even understood its potential. My team developed the algorithms that powered Harrison Cloud, the flagship product that brought in more revenue than any other line of business. I thought my loyalty and results meant something. I thought I had secured my place. But everything changed the day Mr. Harrison collapsed. I remember it vividly. I was in the middle of presenting to a major client when my assistant burst into the room, pale and shaking. "Mr. Harrison, hospital. It's serious." From then on, everything blurred. I spent days rushing between hospital corridors, board meetings, and my office, trying to steady the company while its founder fought for his life. I told myself it was temporary, that once he recovered, stability would return. But then Marcus Harrison appeared. The prodigal son swept in from his years of finding himself in Europe, suntanned and smug, wearing expensive suits that seemed more suited for parties than boardrooms. I had seen him at holiday events over the years, brief appearances, always more interested in his next exotic trip than in his father's life's work. Now, suddenly, he was back to take control. From his first day, Marcus made it clear he had little respect for what had been built in his absence. At his first board meeting, he waved a manicured hand dismissively. "We need to modernize," he declared. "Everything's so old-fashioned here." I tried to be diplomatic, sliding a folder of quarterly reports toward him. "Perhaps we should review the company's current trajectory before making major changes. Our cloud division alone has grown 300% in 2 years." Marcus didn't bother looking. He leaned back in his chair with a smirk. "Cloud computing? That's yesterday's news. The future is blockchain, NFTs, the metaverse." I felt the bottom of my stomach drop. Over the next 6 months, Marcus dismantled everything we had worked for. He brought in flashy consultants with hollow promises of revolutionary ideas. He ignored long-standing client relationships while chasing tech fads. He replaced experienced employees with his former classmates from business school, people who spoke in buzzwords but had no real grasp of execution. I did everything I could to hold my department together. I worked double shifts, keeping our core products running while scrambling to implement Marcus's reckless new initiatives. But no matter how hard I worked, I could see the writing on the wall. The company was sliding toward disaster. The breaking point came on a rainy Tuesday morning. I had just finished a presentation outlining the grim numbers behind Marcus's latest obsession, a luxury NFT marketplace for digital yacht ownership. Millions spent, zero revenue. Marcus leaned forward, his jaw tight, his designer suit wrinkling. These numbers can't be right. You're just too stuck in your old ways to see the potential. The numbers don't lie, I said evenly. We've already lost 3 major clients this quarter. If we don't course correct. Course correct? His voice rose, sharp and furious. He shot to his feet so violently that his chair toppled over with a clatter. The only thing that needs correcting is you. You're the problem here, Sarah. You and your outdated thinking are holding this company back. I felt the weight of 15 years crashing down on me. Still, I kept my composure. Marcus, I've given everything to this company. Your father. My father isn't here anymore, he bellowed, his face red with anger. This is my company now, and I don't need some small town nobody telling me how to run it. You're fired. Get out. Silence fell over the room. Dozens of employees pretended to be busy, their eyes fixed anywhere but on me. No one moved. No one spoke. I gathered my things slowly, deliberately, refusing to give him the satisfaction of seeing me break. At the door, Marcus called after me, his tone dripping with condescension. Good luck finding another job at your age. Maybe you can teach basic computer skills at the library. I turned back, meeting his smug expression with a calm smile that unsettled him for the first time all morning. Thank you for the suggestion, Marcus, but I already have something lined up. What he didn't know, what no one in that room knew, was that for the past 5 years, I had been quietly building something of my own. Atlas Industries had started as a small consulting firm, leveraging my expertise in cloud computing to help other companies modernize, while Harrison Enterprises had my loyalty during business hours. My nights and weekends had belonged to Atlas. What began as a side project had grown into one of the most respected names in enterprise cloud solutions. I had chosen a CEO to serve as its public face, while I remained the silent owner. By now, Atlas had an impressive client list, strong revenue streams, and an impeccable reputation. And tomorrow morning, Harrison Enterprises would be pitching their services to Atlas Industries, unaware that the outdated nobody they had just cast aside was the very person who owned the company they were trying to impress. As I drove home that evening, the rain still falling in sheets, my phone buzzed. A message from Atlas's CEO lit up the screen. Everything's ready for tomorrow. Do you want to handle this personally? I thought of Marcus, smug and arrogant, certain he had crushed me. I thought of the look on his face when he realized the truth. I smiled as I typed my reply. Absolutely, I wouldn't miss this for the world. Marcus, you took your father's legacy and treated it like a toy, I said, my voice steady. You pushed out loyal employees, drove away long-term clients, and chased buzzwords instead of building real growth. I paused beside his chair. Yesterday, you told me to go teach basic computer skills. Today, you're here because Harrison Enterprises is bleeding clients, burning cash, and begging Atlas Industries for help. Ironic, isn't it? Marcus slumped, the weight of reality finally pressing down. The clients you managed, the relationships you built, they're moving to Atlas now, aren't they? I opened one of the folders in front of me. Not all of them, just the ones who value stability and trust. About 60% of your top accounts. Marcus shook his head weakly. You can't do this. It's not fair. fair? I raised an eyebrow. Like how you treated the people who built this company. Like how you dismissed my 15 years of work as if I was beneath you. I slid a document across the table. Here's what will happen. Atlas Industries will acquire Harrison Enterprises. The terms are non-negotiable. You either accept, or watch the company collapse. You want to buy us out? Thomas Chen asked, already reaching for the papers. Not exactly, I said. Atlas will take control. Marcus steps down as CEO. The board is restructured, and we return to the principles that made this company great under Mr. Harrison's leadership. Marcus jumped up, shouting, "You can't do this. I won't let you." "Sit down, Marcus," Thomas snapped. "You've done enough damage." He turned to me, his tone respectful. "These terms, they're more generous than we deserve." "I'm not here for revenge," I said quietly. "I'm here to protect what your father built, something that provided jobs, supported families, and created real value. I won't let ego destroy that." Within an hour, signatures were inked, and Harrison Enterprises officially became part of Atlas. Marcus sat in silence, his power stripped away. As the board filed out, Derek muttered, "Dude, you fired the wrong person." I stood by the window, city lights stretching before me. There was no satisfaction in Marcus's fall. This wasn't about humiliation, it was about safeguarding a legacy. Emma appeared with a coffee. Was it worth it, keeping Atlas a secret all these years? I thought of Mr. Harrison, recovering in the hospital. I thought of the employees who could finally breathe again, and the clients who would get the service they deserved. It wasn't about secrets, I said. It was about building something strong enough to make a difference when it mattered most. But Marcus wasn't done. 3 days later, Emma stormed into my office, pale. "Sarah, you need to see this." On her tablet, the headline blared, "Atlas Industries CEO under investigation for insider trading." Anonymous sources claimed I had sabotaged Harrison Enterprises from the inside to pave the way for Atlas's takeover. Marcus's narrative, wrapped in just enough truth to sting. By afternoon, our stock was down 12%, and clients were stalling contracts. Marcus had found a new way to attack, not by running a company, but by trying to ruin mine. What he hadn't counted on was the evidence I kept. Emails, financial reports, meeting transcripts, all documenting his reckless choices. At a packed press conference, I laid everything bare. Marcus's failed NFT ventures, the profitable products he'd abandoned, the employees he'd driven away. Then I announced the Harrison Innovation Fund, a $50 million commitment to support startups in sustainable technology, honoring Mr. Harrison's true legacy. The market rebounded, clients returned, and then, the most powerful voice of all weighed in. Mr. Harrison, frail but determined, appeared at Marcus's press conference, wheeled onto the stage. He took the microphone. "My son claims his company was stolen. He's wrong. Harrison Enterprises wasn't stolen. It was saved, by someone who understood its true value." He looked at me and smiled faintly. "Sarah Mitchell has my full gratitude. She protected what I built." Camera flashes erupted as Marcus stood frozen, defeated. That was the last time I saw him. 1 year later, I walked through the renovated Harrison Enterprises lobby, now a thriving division of Atlas. The employee photo wall remained, honoring the people who kept the company alive. A young developer rushed up, laptop in hand. "Ms. Mitchell, I've got an idea for improving our cloud system. Could you take a look?" I smiled, remembering when I had once nervously pitched ideas myself. Of course. Show me. The Innovation Fund has since launched dozens of startups. Mr. Harrison, stronger now, serves as an advisor. And me? I still keep my old Harrison badge, not as a reminder of Marcus's insults, but as proof that success is about building, not tearing down. Marcus once called me a small-town nobody. Today, that nobody leads a global tech empire, but more importantly, she creates opportunities for others, just as someone once created them for her. Because real success isn't measured in revenge, it's measured in the legacies we protect, and the futures we help others build.